Good morning, good afternoon, good night, whenever you're watching this video on this beautiful planet. I appreciate the support, Cuzzy. My name is Joe Josh. I go by iChart Daily. In today's video, I'm going to be giving you a quick technical analysis breakdown on Bitcoin. I do think something's playing out and people could get caught with their pants down. So just wanted to give you a window to my thought process. So first things first, this is not financial advice. I've been doing technical analysis for 17 years now. I'm just trying to pass along the knowledge to you. And I've been investing in crypto for, let's just say, hypothetically 10 years now. And I trust charts over people, so I'm trying to interpret what I see in the charts now. So the first thing that I do is I try and plan my swing trades with golden crosses and death crosses, right? Because the main thing is trend lines go with trend indicator. Okay, the trend indicator is the MACD. On this 2-day chart, you can see here volume's coming down. We just had the death cross, and this is the most important thing that I want to teach you right now. This is right here. When you break the moving average, that's strike one. Okay, the most bullish thing to happen is your RSI is making higher lows, higher highs. There's room to grow until the asset is extremely overbought and you're catching the swing. Once you see the asset make a lower high, strike one. Once you see the asset break the moving average, strike two. Once you see the asset, if it is in section A+, which is above the 70 line, if it breaks the 70, instead of using it as support, as you can see here, strike three. If it breaks the 70, it uses it as resistance. This right here is the most important thing because it shows you, regardless of what's happening in the news, this could be a continuation to the downside. Now, the first thing that I look at is once we break the line in the sand, right? There's 3 lines in the sand. Once we break the line in the sand, you have all the strikeouts in your favor, and then you have the continuation. I look to see how far we could bleed until major support. What's major support? Usually around the 50, right? Showing us that this pattern, yeah, we're going to have a little blood, but we're not breaking this 59.6 over here, right? We're not going to make a lower low to the 50,004. It's just another healthy consolidation like this one here and this one here. So because of that, when I start zooming into the shorter time frames, it gives you more clarity, right? And long-term trends, right? The ones that have the least amount of fake outs, meaning the daily and longer, will help you understand what's happening on the shorter time frames, okay? So, most people will be like, well, what's happening here? It's a breakout. I don't know. We'll guess. We'll see. There's no guessing. There's no seeing. You have to evaluate the chart long term, and then you zoom in, right? So, on the 4-hour chart, you can see here's the current trend using yellow as resistance, orange as support. And we had this little pimple above. Now we need to see, are we going to stay above what was resistance and then use it as current support? Or are we going to break back into the trend? If we break back into this trend, we're going to use what was support as present support. Now, what's going to help you understand if that happens is, once again, the indicators. If you start seeing volume coming down on the MACD, if you start seeing the MACD looking like it's about to death cross below the 0 line, if you see the RSI did break above the 50, and if it doesn't use the 50, we're not staying above 65, let's just say 65,000. We're going to come back into section B. We're going to death cross in section B. Section B is below the 50 to the 30 or below the histogram on the MACD. And as you can see, you could back test this. Once you are in section B and you have room to bleed to the 30, you have blood. You have the death cross in section B. You have room to bleed back to the 30. We had blood. I also want to show you something else. We had a golden cross. We had a golden cross. We went to the 50. Unfortunately, this high was lower than this high. We had a golden cross. We had a golden cross. We went to the 57. We did not make a higher high to this one. So technically, as of right now, the downtrend of the lower high still remains true. So the most important thing is you need to see is if does this RSI, and this is why you need to manipulate it. You can see here on the 3 hour, it's about to break the 50, about to break the moving average. I would set an alert right here at the, let's just say the 65,837, right? That was previous support, right? Support, turned into resistance, the 65,238 level. I think that's where we go first, and then from there, if it's a continuation, it would use it as resistance and then come back down. That's the video. Love you guys, right? Once again, long term, I'm using the RSI on the monthly to see how much room this pump still has to go, right? We still have room to grow until the asset is extremely, extremely overbought. I'm using the bottom of this peak right here, the 85.49, to be my market bottom top. On the weekly, I use the 11 and 21 day as support during the bull market. Bull market means the monthly is bullish, and we are. So once again, that's 56,000 to technically 50,000, right? Confirming that if I go back to this chart, right, 61 to 58,000 is definitely on the table. And once again, that would be another bottom, right? We went here, 61 to 38. We came here, 61.2. Maybe we come down again and form a double bottom at the 61,000. That's the video, folks. Love you. Appreciate the support. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, leave it in the comment section. Before you leave, I'll leave you two alerts. You could right-click on the MACD on, let's just say, I would do the 3 hour first, right? Because the 2 hour, actually, here you go. Right-click on the 2 hour, add alert, MACD, crossing the MACD signal, add an alert. Once that goes off, then you're watching the 3 hour. You want to see how many candles need to print until this one death crosses. Set an alert on the 3 hour. Then you're watching the 4 hour. How many candles have to print and when is the time? Look at the bottom, right? This one doesn't look like it's death crossing yet, but if this one does, it'll lead to this one. If this one does, it'll lead to this one. And once again, these look more bearish because the 2-day, which is the longer term trend, is showing you a bearish sentiment leading up until Saturday, and room to bleed till, let's just say, the 61 to potentially even the 58. Like, that's the next leg down. Love you guys. Appreciate the support.